We're going to do our Olympics segment here. We had this tweet went viral on, I think it was ESPN or some shit. If you had, what are the circumstances? 10 years to train?
4 years to train.
4 years? Jesus Christ. I mean, this is silly. So we might have to change some of the parameters. But if you had 4 years to train in any one Olympic event, this is preposterous. I mean, 4 years and you're going to be top 3 in the world at something. You agree with me, right?
Yeah, of course it's preposterous.
Well, there have been times on this show, probably many years ago, with different hosts and whatnot. I mean, Dan would tell you he could fucking win the 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
You know? So now you do have to add in some of the answer the internet type hypotheticals where it's like, I'm going to assume I'm rich, I don't need a job, and I literally just do this. Yes. But that's also what Olympians do. They usually don't have other jobs, and they just
a lot
do
of
this.
Olympians do.
Well, yeah, for the big events, yeah. But I mean, they're still. It's not like they don't. They're practicing all fucking 4 years too.
Yes.
So
definitely.
It's not like you get the drop on them that much. That's 2 today, Jackie.
You dropped yours too.
What?
You dropped.
I dropped scissors earlier.
Let's go.
Got her! Jackie, the queen of the fumbles. Thank God you're not on the football team. Ball. So I'm going to say, what would you realistically... I guess let's talk about the events first, and then what would you realistically need to actually be... Like, I think it needs to be like 20 years, you know what I mean? Because my whole point being that they're also training too. It's like if the rest of the world stopped and you were the only one training at it, maybe. But while you do nothing but train for 4 years, so are they.
So people with quite a head start,
right?
And
quite a head start. Shape.
Yeah,
know?
like and a different body than mine.
Yeah,
like which is hugely important.
Yeah, you need to start this shit like from birth, bro. You can't start when you're 36, fat, old, and disgruntled.
I think the two that stick out to me that like I'd have a chance maybe would be sailing.
Yep, I picked that one for you. And I was like, this motherfucker's been on Fagawi boats or some shit.
But I'm not a good sailor. But I just at least I have a team.
Yeah.
So right, like basically anything where it's just me, that's out.
Done.
That's out.
I need to be able to rely on other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, it would be hard for me to make
sailing,
the team.
It's funny to think of like what makes you a good sailor, because you do have to like be in shape and stuff, but like is there a mental element to it where it's just like you're not a sailor, you know? you're not sailor material, bro.
I
can stand on a boat. That's really all that sailing is at the end of the day. I can stand on this boat. I might not be great at it, but I can stand on it and go from point A to point B.
The sailing shit is, it's obviously fucking hard. It's the Olympics, but like, it's not like a boat that you'd have in Fagawi. It's like you have this little like 2-person boat.
That shit where you're
and you gotta like duck under the fucking boom.
When you're standing on like the side of the boat and like you're parallel to the water. Holy shit.
That would be probably the number one in like weightlifting. I fucking maybe could.
You could do, yeah. That's a good, like that's reasonable.
It's completely unreasonable.
Yes,
but it's
reasonable if we started like you and your family. You come from good stock. You know, like you guys. If you just trained, like your dad could probably lift in the Olympics right fucking now. If you had trained and did just that, you're thick as fuck, and you kept up with steroids and shit. You could do it.
And I get in shape fast, which is why I think that would help since I only have 4 years.
Yeah.
Like I bounce back fast.
Do you think if I gave you 10 years?
If you gave me 10 years, it's too long. I'd get bored. It's got to be 4.
You know what I would get bored at? Have you seen some of these long distance swimming?
Oh yeah, well, it's like
they swim for 15 to like 20 minutes.
Dude,
that's so long. How do you even remember what lap you're on?
Yeah, you don't.
I used to do that.
They must have a counter, right?
I'll do the 500. You have somebody counting, but I've also been the person counting, and I've spaced out, and I think somebody broke a record when they shouldn't have.
500 meters, though, is like nothing compared to this. They were doing like the 1500, right?
They do like 2,000. Katie Ledecky was like doing that and then sprints like within an hour or two of each other.
That's insane. I mean, how many times I get bored when it's like down and back. It needs to just be like one length of the pool. When they were doing the relays, which were like cool, and I still was like, oh boy, I was like, oh, this is the last one. And it's like, no, he's got to go back. And I was like, Jesus, to just take your time swimming in the middle, like we got 5 million more laps to go. I would say there's one on the list that I think you can do. Almost, a lot of people could do with time, with nothing but time and practice. I think you could learn shooting.
Shooting, archery I was looking at too. Yeah.
Archery is, I think, harder than shooting because I think using those bows, actually maybe not. Those bows are so like technologically advanced that it's not like I think that archery in the Olympics should be like you got to make your own bow. Yeah. That should be part of it. You got like a piece of fucking like deer bones or some shit that you're bending and whale bones and shit. But I think shooting is the only shooting and archery. I don't want the fucking archers coming after me because I know you're athletes. But and there's some element of like physicality to it, but there's not like a endurance. There's not a agility. There's not your heart rate's not like shooting. I think the whole idea is getting your heart rate like flat. So anything where you're trying to stop breathing and your heart pumping, we're calling it a sport. You know what I mean? It's a little bit tough.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty much halfway there. That's like a flat line.
Then maybe that'd be good. Maybe they'd be like, we have never once seen someone with body vitals as low as yours. I mean, this is just how I do, baby. Just give me a gun and I'll just lay there and shoot. So I think that would be my only shot. I mean, nothing else.
I know handball's a popular one right now. I think
handball's dope. Handball is something that every 4 years people go, this game is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, we played it in high school. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
But like when they throw like the spins and stuff and like
you can really do some cool shit. The ball is it's like the only ball this size. It's not. I haven't seen any other sport that like really uses it, and you can fucking whip it, man. It's a fun one. The karate and shit is up there. Judo, karate.
No, it's not.
Yeah, top right.
No. You're saying it's up there. I think you're saying it's up there as in like something you could do.
Oh no, but yeah, I don't know. So we were debating this before we went on the air. I don't know how this shit works because like 10-year-olds can get a black belt.
Yeah, well, Mike has one.
He was 11 years old and he got a fucking black belt. I'll tell you right now. If we could time travel and Mike was 11 again, I would work his shit.
I don't know about that.
I would fucking, a little 11-year-old, pop him in the fucking nose and he's literally crying for his mom.
I'm not gonna lie. It was like a karate kata. It was like called taekwondo. It's like a dance routine almost. It's
okay. This kid's dancing.
But then when I got turned like 11, I was like fighting real kids and like I was fighting the other black belts and it didn't work out. So I was like,
okay,
so you got a black belt for a dance routine.
If you get like your ass kicked by someone with a black belt, they should take your black belt away.
That's kind of what happened.
Oh, really? They're like,
hey, this black belt.
I feel like just being like a dirty Irish Mick that I am, like you come up, we square up with an 11-year-old, and I just like kick him in the chest. Could you imagine some 11-year-old kid be like, "All right, come on, hiya," and I just kick him in the gut, and he's like, "Oh," like just knock the wind out of him.
I wonder if we can set this up.
Because I give him one of these Sparta things, like that, just a boot to the ribs, and this 11-year-old's like, "That's not what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to do like the chops." Come on, Mom, he kicked me in the ribs. I just cave in his rib cage. Or do you think it would be like Seinfeld, the little Fists of Fury, when Kramer gets like?
I think there's probably a stoolie who has an 11-year-old with a black belt who's like, I'll fight Kevin.
He would work my shit. Yeah. I'd be like, all right, let's do this. I'd throw my booty, like catch it, twist me, flip over.
We'd have to just like
shit.
We'd have to like schedule a surgery for you beforehand.
Just a preemptive.
And they're like, what kind? Like, just have it operating.
I have my appointment ready. Have the IV good. Have the scalpel out.
Definitely have like some orthopedic surgeons around. Maybe a cardiologist. And
I just do not get though I think black belt should mean like you've got to be able to like fight anyone in the world who also is like a black belt or some shit. I don't know how because you could be like, I don't know where the cutoff is because you could be like 16 and be fucking like, I'll kill you. But 15, 14, 10, 12, like where does it stop? Where it's like, okay, you're just a kid.
Yeah.
And I understand like the motions and the art of it, but it's like, but you step in the ring with me. Like a fat guy could just beat you up. He's fatter than you. I think a black belt, you need to be able to win any fight you're in.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're 11. You can't beat up this grown man, so you don't have a black belt. Brendan Schaub was telling a story about his, I think his son, they were at some event, I don't know, some karate, whatever, I don't know, and there was a black belt there, and he was like, Dad, like could you beat him up? And he was kind of like, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. And he was like, but he's a black belt and you're not. And I think Brendan Schaub actually is a black belt. He just doesn't physically have them. So the point of his story was that he was like, I gotta like go to this gym and get my fucking black belt so my son will shut up about this. But he was like, yeah, man, no, I will work his shit. I will beat the shit out of that guy, okay, son? I'm a monster, all right? I will kill him. But yeah, I mean, I'm not impressed with your little black belt 11-year-old dance routine, Mike. Can we have footage of that?
Yeah, I definitely got
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I might have
go.
footage of the day that they took my black belt away where I got my ass kicked.
That is some. I do respect if that's like if there's like some sensei who's like, you have dishonored the belt, like pulls it off you and slaps you in the face. Yeah, all right. So let us know what Olympic event you think you could win or get the bronze medal or whatever. The real thing to me is like, which one do you think you could like maybe somewhat make the team as an alternate after 15 years of traiing? You know, because none of this shit. You're not meddling in fucking anything.
Fencing, I could probably make the team as an alternate.
Fencing is a decent one.
Well, I mean, they got that alternate who
rapes people.
Who rapes people, and I feel like it's good reason to kick him off the team. But this guy's pretty good.
Imagine that if they just said like, you're out because you're a sexual predator, and we're letting Feidelberg in.
Yeah,
That would be amazing. Also, there's a chance you might be able to play on the baseball team because boy, is it slim pickings.
Is it?
Olympic baseball's not great. Todd Frazier's like by far our best player, and Todd Frazier's like washed.
Yeah, Todd. I didn't know he was playing.
Yeah, I think Todd Frazier is just like hell bent on having this like American boy story. You know what I mean? I did the Little League World Series and I like played for the Yankees and I won this and I won that. Now I got to get a gold medal. And it's like I don't even think you're gonna get it, bro. It's funny. It's kind of like washed up. It's like Joey Bats is in there for the Dominican Republic and like Tanaka's getting shelled for Japan. It's just a washed up and then no names. You know, like I don't even know who else is filling.
The Sox have a prospect who's hitting the piss out of the ball over there.
Oh yeah.
Tristan Casas, I think it's CASAS.
I think is this new, by the way? I don't think I ever remember baseball in the Olympics.
I don't think it's the first time, but it's newish.
Because I wonder if it will get to a point where like
because when the Olympics were in Greece, they had baseball.
Did they?
Yeah, because it was. I remember.
Did America? Have we ever played major leaguers? Or has it always been like under?
I don't think so because
it
still was in the summer.
Right. And like hockey, it's so prestigious where they'll like stop the league for 2 weeks, right?
Which they don't. They
don't do that anymore.
They stopped doing it last year. There's talks of it coming back again. But yeah,
because I can understand why it's like, no, we're a professional franchise. We can't like risk this, or we don't want to. But it would be cool. It's like same thing with basketball.
It happened with Tavares broke his leg.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like we're not doing this ever again.
Yeah.
But I would love it to get to a point where it's like actually baseball is interesting too though because it's a legitimate World Series like. Team Japan versus Team Dominican versus team like that's why the World Baseball Classic has like a decent amount of juice because it is fairly spread out. But I would love to send our like best of our best over there and like work shit.
But I think even if we send our best of our best, I don't think America dominates.
Well, I think it depends on like because it's like Fugazi where it's like Mike Stanton played for like Italy or some shit, didn't he?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
But that's how I know Greece. I think Greece was the first time that baseball with the Olympics because it was like. If your great-grandfather or great-great-grandparents or whatever are from Greece, you can play for this team.
See, that's what I mean. I feel like if it was American, meaning like you're born here, I still think you get, like A-Rod played for Puerto Rico. He's fucking American. Manny Ramirez is born in the Bronx. So like if all of those guys were Team America, I think
yes.
Because there's still most of those guys are born in the countries we're talking about, but there are a bunch too that's like, yeah, your last name is Rodriguez or something like that, but you're American, so. But that would be interesting though. I don't know. It's somebody put out
the World
best.
Baseball Classic. We send our best, right? We didn't win that.
But that's what I mean because I don't know if it's our best because it's not like because those guys do play for like the Dominican Republic and
like A-Rod played for the Dominican Republic.
I think he played for Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Really?
I think 1 year he did at least. One time he did.
I didn't know that.
70% is from America in the MLB. 10% is from Dominican Republic, and then 5% from Venezuela. That's what the MLB.
But those numbers that those 10% might be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So you don't know, but I do think we would still win. But somebody put together the best team from each of the major countries, and we'll tweet it. You want the good news or the bad news? Well, you want the good news or the bad news?
I always go good news first.
All right, the good news is when we started this shit, only 10% of people watching our YouTube videos were subscribed, and now it's up to 40%. So that's almost like a 50-50 split. That's a 30% increase. A little math for you. That's the good news.
Too much math for me, but it's good news.
You know what the bad news is? That still means 60% of you motherfuckers aren't subscribed. It still
It's
means
good
the
thing
majority.
I asked first because that would have been backwards.
That'd have been terrible. Yeah. Imagine if I was like, well, the good news is it's
Good thing I
No.
fucking go good news first.
60% still just freeloading off of our videos. And guess what? It's YouTube. You're all freeloading. It's not really all. The only cost is to push the fucking button.
Just push it. Push the button.
Push it. Push it real good.
Push it real good.
Dun, 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 dun.